Okay guys, this morning got a little clip for you of my Traxxas speedrun car here, the Traxxas 4Tec 2.0 VXL. Castle Creations 5700 kV motor on it, running just 3S in this video. I do want a shakedown run with it because this is a new body I've got for it and a new suspension setup running in this video. Anyway, I made a few changes following this video. As you'll see, things don't quite go to plan, but I know with speedruns when to quit. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Anyway, watch the clip, see what you
side. Okay, come in. Yo. I was worried that might happen. I'm getting too much lift an hour a day, and Marvin got it at 49 on the gun, so we're pretty much spot on there. Obviously a little bit of work to do. I've changed the suspension and the rear is much lower than it was before. Whether that's causing a lift problem, we shall have to see.
Okay. 50 mile an hour blowover, not too impressive, right? The biggest tip I can give anyone with speed runs is knowing when to quit. I took one look at the thing, fired over at 50 miles an hour. It ain't going to go faster on that day in question. It's just not happening. There's something fundamentally wrong with the car. So if that happens to you guys, there'll be another day. Walk away. Don't risk smashing your car up just for chasing some speed, just for the sake of it, when it's something fairly obvious and fundamental needs to change on the car. In my case, they didn't have the wheel cutouts when I took that video, and I'm thinking of making it nice and streamlined on the side, just wondering by cutting them out whether it'll alleviate some of the air pressure at the front. But the biggest thing on that car was I'd fitted new shocks to it, which had dropped the chassis down by about 8 mil front and rear. Now previously, on the old setup, the rear of the car was higher, probably by about half a centimetre to a centimetre on there, so the car sloped from the back down towards the front on there, and that seemed to make a huge difference because with that body shell on, this same spec car did 84 miles an hour, absolutely rock solid. So I thought by putting this body on, we would get a little bit more speed out on there. Changed the shocks, absolute disaster on there. The car's only been sitting with the new shocks about 5 mil off the ground, and I think the air pressure was building up and causing that flip under the chassis as opposed to the air pressure building up under the body, because at the back of the car it's completely open, so that should be drawing a lot of the air that would be building up and causing that parachuting effect. That should be drawn out of the back of the car. That's what I'm thinking. It's built up under the chassis. As I say, 5 mil clearance on there, maybe just a little bit too much. The car certainly seems to handle better when the rear is about a centimetre higher than the front, so it's all leaning like that, if you like. Anyway, I'm going to take the camera now off the tripod, show you around the car a bit. Okay. So for those of you who've not seen it before, this is my speedrun body, newly painted, a little bit of damage on the rear from that flip, but open at the back, relieve the airflow on there. Anyway, what I've done is I've kept the new shocks, Vetera ones, on the front here, but I've put the shocks and springs that I had from the previous setup that was working well on the back here. So when you look from the side again, you will see the car is higher at the back than the front, and that seemed to work well. The thing seemed to be well hooked up, bolted to the ground, show no signs of lifting whatsoever, particularly with that shell on there. So that leads me to think it was the chassis setup as opposed to that new body wanting to blow over, but hopefully with those wheel curves on there that will alleviate a bit more of the pressure from there. So I shall have another try later on this week. Well guys, I just thought it worth showing that, as there's maybe a misconception about speedruns. You just change the gear in, bang a bigger motor in there, fit a bigger battery, and everything's going to be well and dandy and the thing's going to fly along at 100 miles an hour. Doing all that stuff, that's the easy bit, is getting the car set up, doing those shakedown runs like that, testing it out, making sure it runs in a straight line, it's not wanting to lift. That's where the hard work kind of comes in on there. So I just thought it worthwhile showing the kind of stuff that I've been playing around with, experimenting with, and the work that goes into the car behind the scenes. Anyway, you want to see more of this car, because it will be running later on in this week, back in its original suspension setup, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.